In a place not so far from the city center, street lamps light the crooked sidewalks upon which slither figures and figurines. Top shelf people living off their unseen, pocket compasses with no true north, just spinning free. It's here we meet the main character of the story, a tale not usually expressed in any oral history. So dig into your feet, plant the seeds that migrate with hands of leaves, shaking deadheads like datura breeze. A young kid obsessed with word placement, caught in the ripples of energy, maniacally orchestrated, entirely saturated in spoken word. Syllable structures like mothers giving comfort to such a cruel world. Immediately relief proceeds, temporary dissolution of the increasing solidity. Wasn't bothered that his style was misunderstood. It was a craft that he could stash the last expressions of his hope, and so he wrote. For whatever it's worth, may this pen become a shield and guardian of the poor. Both friend and foe alike merge as one in my lone microphone, homegrown and light. So it goes on like this for years, subtle rhythm adjustments accompanying all who hear. Even though the dark drew near, he meditated in a way that lifts spirits up after each playback. But contentment is transitory, and soon his healing sounds became flat. And that was that, no more handshakes and laughs, only solitude wrapped the stacks of his expanding panic attacks, demanding another act to consult what's come before in stowaway corridors where mental wars push thoughts off top floors. He endured the pain, buried it deeper with each episode. Some called him insane, fully engaged in the dark night of the soul. Messengers of the gods put his connections on hold as the winds through the pines toppled the walls of his home. It's a peculiar thing, watching it all come caving in, stopped in mid-sentence asking himself, do I really deserve what I feel is missing, or has it reached the termination point, a final indication? Noise static tactic blasted where every thought conjoins. Nothing worse than a life without meaning, navigating this void of experience without even intending to better oneself. No matter what cards you've been dealt, disagree with this and you fabricated your own personal hell. So he fell with humbled pen in hand and heavy heart like lead, determined to find words again, passing each dimension, rhythm seeking through the fire, always believing there must be a reason to this madness we've been living. So he wrote, for whatever it's worth, may this pen become a shield and guardian of the poor. Friend and foe alike merge as one in my lone microphone, homegrown and light. Isolation is a double sword, more you lose yourself, more you can't explore. Boundaries usually ignored when life seemed a little happier. He left his ego stenciled in its typical place by dissolving his desires into a very specific shape. Hard to explain, you can call it death I guess, or maybe just the actualization of some subtle meditative state where mind relates to all sense objects as one. Now that wisdom set the stage, the final act can go on. Something happens to this world when you fully grip the danger and uncertainty of this mental precipice. He pictured this and decided it's time to face the fear and split. Quickly across the ether, smuggling a fresh musical hit. From beyond the grave he roped wing and speech, braided king and queen insignia straight into transcendental beats never before seen in such a fashion. The energy was undeniably fantastic, almost ancient in its pattern. No longer kept up with appearance, his lyrics gave coherent clearance through your strict security adherence, forcing young and old to reflect upon what they've been sold. Breaking the mold as rhythm fragments strip down your waking earlobes. Inspiration hits in mysterious ways. He condenses torturous history into another worldly display, then poured in what it is that connects all people. An idea that under cultural buffers we are each other's equals, each other's teachers, leaders, followers, enemies, lovers, brothers and mothers. It's also plain to see we've been here before, we might just do it again. So create something for this world before your music ends. So we wrote, for whatever it's worth, may this pen become a shield and guardian of the poor. Both friend and foe alike merged as one in my lone microphone, homegrown and light. So we wrote, for whatever it's worth, may this pen become a shield and guardian of the poor. Both friend and foe alike